would you look where we are? It's got an overheating issue, so it's also got a bad battery. I had to jump start it. Good to note the fan's blowing the right way. We're not quite sure if it's the gauge or the something's actually wrong with it, so I'm gonna have to put it to work here. I didn't bring my camera, so we'll deal with that. We'll see if I'm good enough to hold the phone with one hand and run the dozer with the other. I bet I'm not, but we'll try it. So yeah, that didn't take long. About 3 good pushes there and it gets hot. That's not good at all. So now, got my handy dandy temp gun here. $165. Right down. Okay, let me find a bottom radiator hose, that'll help. Can't really get to it. Shut this thing off so you can hear me better. Alright, so now that it's a little quieter, we can come up here to regulator operation later models, which this is. When the coolant is cold and the regulators are in the closed position, all flow to the radiator is blocked and approximately 80% of the normal engine coolant flow passes through the bypass line, which is this gadget right here. And circulates through the system as the coolant temperature increases and the regulators can open to allow coolant to the radiator inlet. The bypass flow diminishes. When the regulators are fully open, all bypass flow is shut off. Okay then. So, someplace a minute ago I saw somewhere anyway, it said basically that your thermostats are going to control your temperature between 160 degrees Fahrenheit and whatever, or somewhere below boiling temperature for getting a call from the school, yay, somewhere below boiling temperature of water at your elevation. So I'm probably where I'm standing 750 to 800 feet, so pretty much 212 degrees. Now, of course, we don't really get a spec in this book that I can find of what the operating temperature is supposed to be. It's just somewhere between 160 degrees and boiling. So as you saw there, right at the temperature probe where this gauge is connected, it was sitting right on the edge of the red, and we were at 165 degrees. So I'm kind of thinking our gauge is just a little bit weak after being working for the last 50 years. The thermostats, you know, we had hot water passing into the radiator as well as down the bypass line there, but you know, I finally did get to the lower radiator hose to check it. We had, you know, it was coming out the bottom of the radiator about 110 to 118 degrees, depending on which way I pointed the laser at it. So I think we're getting pretty good flow through the radiator anyway. It's actually doing a pretty decent job of dropping the temperature. More or less, I'm guessing that we just need a new gauge, and we should be back to work. Should have it normal again, or at least a gauge that reads in degrees. That's up. I don't really don't care for the old style where it has, you know, this is green, this is blue, this is green, this is red. That doesn't really mean anything to me. So yeah, okay, well, I think I'm gonna call this one good for right now, guys. I'm sure it'll take a few days, or well, it shouldn't take a few days. I can go down to the local Napa and get a gauge tomorrow, and we can throw it in there. But I have other things to do tomorrow night, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give this thing one more run, I guess, and we'll see what it does for sure. guys, just to recap, I'm back at the house now. We're gonna pick up a new gauge for that dozer and see what happens then. I don't think there's really anything wrong with it. I think that old gauge is just tired and it doesn't want to work right anymore. Sounds like a lot of other stuff, doesn't it? Anyway, it's time for supper. I'm gonna go ahead and get something to eat, take a shower, go to bed. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more, and I'll get back to you.